If you've ever been bumped off a flight, if you've ever paid a surprise fee, been stuck on the tarmac for hours, if you have flown at all recently, get ready to celebrate a little bit.
Throw up your hands, bring on the confetti. New federal rules go into effect today to protect airline passengers caught in these situations. Joining us now, Mark Orwoll, international editor of Travel and Leisure magazine. Mark, good to see you here this morning.
Thanks.
Let's talk about one of the more frustrating travel nightmares that we have all gone through at one time or another, and that is being planted on the tarmac for hours at a time. Finally, there is some relief.
Well, this is actually stage 2 on this part, Chris. Last year, the federal government implemented a 3-hour tarmac delay, but that only applied to domestic flights. Now, international flights have been brought into this tarmac delay limit. It's a 4-hour limit for international flights, but nonetheless, it's much better than the potential of being stuck on the tarmac for 8 hours. Yeah. Plus, after 2 hours, the airline has to provide the stuck passengers with food and beverages. So this is a great way to sort of complete that law, that new law. A
nice step forward. Also, if you have been bumped from an oversold flight, they have to compensate you really handsomely now.
They do. It used to be that the rule was if it was a short delay, that is if they bumped you didn't want to get bumped, but they said, sorry, we don't have enough, we've overbooked. We oversold. We can get you on another flight in a couple of hours. They would have had to pay you $400. If it was a longer delay, $800. Well, they've increased that by more than 50%. Now you can get up to $650 for a short delay. You can get up to $1,300 for a long delay. This is something that is going to make the airlines think twice about overselling those flights. And if you're one of those unfortunate people who does get bumped, you're going to be compensated for it.
Because even that $650 for a short delay, that's a nice fee.
That's
a lot more.
And you get to keep your ticket and get on another flight. You don't have to buy a ticket. And ask them to write out a check for you, by the way. Don't take a voucher, take a check.
Oh, so it's cash, not a $650.
Right.
You don't have to take a $650 voucher for that airline.
Nice.
I like that advice.
Another complaint from many travelers is the fees that you encounter. Now they literally have to disclose them, huh?
Yeah, well, the hidden fees, or ancillary fees, as they say in airline speak, it was a nightmare to try and find out what they were. You know, we're talking about checked baggage fees. We're talking about cancellation fees, fees for in-flight entertainment, meals. All of those things were almost impossible to find. Now the federal government says that the airlines have to post those prominently on their website, so that there'll be a link on the homepage starting today that'll take you to a page showing you all of those fees, so you know what you're getting into.
And this isn't the end of it. There are actually more regulations that will go into effect in January. One of them also related to fees, which is interesting, is now when they advertise the fares, they have to give you the full fare, including all those taxes and fees.
Right now, as I think everybody knows, you can see a $500 airfare advertised, but when you actually have to write out your check or hand over your credit card, it's like $600. Where'd that come from? That's because they don't always include the federal taxes or other mandatory fees. Now, starting January 24th, they're going to have to include all of those fees into full fare advertising, so you'll know exactly what you're paying for.
Times are a-changing.
Yes.
And for the better, I think, too.
I think you're not going to find many complaints here now.
No.
Mark, thank you.
Nice to have you here, Mark. Thanks.